What does it mean when we say, I need do nothing, like in the Course in Miracles or in many spiritual paths, specifically non-dual paths, right? Just be. There's no need to do. Well, look at that pile of, this is a perfect example of you need do nothing. Just don't do your laundry, right? Just kidding. I came back from a small trip and yeah, I just haven't done it yet, but I will have to do it, quote unquote, right? But see, that's the thing. The confusion, I think, lies in us thinking that doing things with our body, so like actions that we take, is the same as, taking action to achieve something, to prove something, to fulfill some sort of desire, right? So an expectation and to get something. But moving the body, doing laundry, brushing your teeth, I don't know, making yourself a meal, going for a walk, all those things are doing. I mean, even thinking is a doing, right? Resting is a doing. All of those things are part of what we do throughout our lives. And yet there is a way of doing that feels like non-doing, that feels like we aren't responsible, we're not proving, we're not out to put effort behind. Rather, we're in a state of trust and restfulness, and things are gentle. And wherever we come from in this state, whatever it is that we decide to do, it doesn't feel like a doing because of our approach, because of our internal posture in relationship to that thing, that action, right? So whether it's, making an email to someone and doing a communication, reaching out, signing up for something, a class, or even just taking a nap because you need rest. All of those things are things that we do, right? They're all things that we do. And we can either be coming from the point of like, I'm going to make this happen. I am the doer, right? I'm not taking a back seat on this. Well, in that case, then we are coming from a place of control, ego, fear, making things happen a certain way, contingent are our vision and what's supposed to happen, versus taking a step back and allowing the divine to flow through you, allowing God to be God and do the work, allowing yourself to learn to discern and listen more. And we can only listen and discern what is meant for us to do next when we're in a state of restfulness, internal restfulness. Literally, chaos could be happening around us. But if we are in a state of restfulness, it's going to feel very different. The reality with which we're in which we're in, is going to be completely different to what most people might be feeling in that same quote unquote reality. Because ultimately, we each have a separate reality through the lens that we're looking through our stories, through our pasts, through our decision in the moment to trust what is in front of us, to allow Spirit to use whatever is in front of us, whatever is the next step, whatever we're being invited to, led to. And so it is a state of non-doing because you're not the one in the driver's seat. You are the vessel, right? You are the one allowing, listening, following, and trusting as you follow. And therefore, anything that you show up to do, even if it's doing laundry, which I still have to do, right? Or washing dishes, or taking your kids to school, or being in traffic, whatever it is, right? All of it depends. What we are doing still gets done, but from a different internal place. And therefore, the doing now doesn't feel like doing, it feels like flow. It feels like we're getting all things done. and we move out of our headspace of the doubtful, egoic space, and we rest in the next thing that shows up. And it doesn't mean we don't ignore things that are coming up that in the mind, especially if they're very present and there's a lot of resistance. Then there might be something there to look at, to release, to expose, because the ego is coming up to fight, literally to fight against the idea of you resting. Because you resting is you releasing the ego. You resting and being in trust is you getting your power back, right? The power, the strength that God gave you, because now you're connected to your source. You're connected to love. You're connected to God. You are plugged in, and you are just letting yourself be that vessel, that conduit. And so you're not worried about what's going to happen. Well, because you're not in charge, right? You're like just part of the whole thing, and you're witnessing it. You're not expecting certain things. And so it is a continuous surrender over again and again to our past patterns, to our past beliefs, to the things that we thought we need to be something in the world. Oh man, it is, and it is a constant practice, and it is a practice for me, for sure, again and again, right? And we follow the excitement, we follow the nudges, and to be able to follow it, though, there is a sense of internal restfulness, a sense of internal trust for whatever's showing up, including anything that is of the ego as well, that is trying to deter, distract, right, us from who we truly are, from truly shining our light, from releasing the lies so that we can get back to listening, so that we can get back into our back seat and flow with the divine and see where it takes us, who it takes us to bless, who it takes us to meet, see what it takes us to say. So we're doing the things in the form, we're moving, we're active within the dream, within this experience, but we're no longer the ones in charge of making things happen. We're no longer the ones in charge of expecting certain results. And when we make an action with an expectation of a certain result, there's a catch there, you know, there's a trap, there's a mental internal trap there. And so it's like the invitation is once again, am I coming from a place of trust here? Am I coming from a place of excitement? I'm doing this next class, this next thing, this next group, book, right? Am I stepping forward but letting God lead, letting love lead? In other words, I have no expectations of what will come. I release all expectation. I release all ideas of what this is supposed to look like, and I hand it over to the one who knows, and I let him, I let her, because there's no gender, right? I let it do what it's always been meant to do. And I let myself do what I've always been meant to do, to be in my true place, to take my true seat, right? In this divine plan, so that I can heal my mind, I can be at rest, things can unfold and surprise me, spirit can surprise me, and I am not at the will of the ego. Even when the ego shows up, it's a welcoming, like, okay, here's a healing, here's something I'm believing. What have I forgotten about who I am in God, in the light of truth, right? In spirit. What have I forgotten about that I now see myself here, right? Doubting and finding myself in confusion. And none of it is to feel guilt. It's just to observe and become aware and say, okay, kind of like an investigator. You're like your own mental investigator. This is happening. Oh, wow, look, I'm in the flow. I'm in the back seat. I'm trusting. Oh, right there. I got triggered. Interesting. That's showing up for me right now. Those are thoughts that come from the egoic pattern that I've been tapping into my whole life, the egoic mind. But do I need to continue to tap into that? Or can I make a new choice now to trust, right? To express any lie that's coming out and put it out so that it's no longer hidden and held within me, but released into the light of truth. Let it dissolve, right? All of this is powerful, and it is helpful in discerning what the next step may be in our journey of literally always stepping back and following. We don't lead the way, we are being led. We don't lead the way, we are being led. This is a divine dance that we are always and forever, moment to moment, having with God. And so the doing is not about the actions themselves. It's about the energy with which we come towards the action, the internal posture, the mental space that we're in, or state, in relation to that doing. If we know God is always flowing through me, as I do this, as I do that, I am an open vessel. I am open and curious for this next step. I am open, right? And it may become clear that things will not be for you. You'll be redirected. If not, that is the kind of state of trust that we're being called to have. We take the step and the things will unfold as they need to. If things don't unfold, that's still part of the unfolding, right? And we do what we can. We go into prayer, this openness and this sense of prayer that's more like the Course in Miracles prayer, right? It's like a consistent openness and curiosity. It's not something that you do separately or make time for. Rather, you're a walking prayer. You're just listening. You're just in a consistent, ever present, aware dance with the Spirit, with God, leading you to the next thing. And now there's no sense of having to achieve. It's not the point. It's getting to know who you truly are and coming into the greater plan of awakening and blessing the world through you, through your gifts, through your things. Yet we don't put expectations on it. We don't put an end goal. We let our only goal be the healing of the mind and the awakening of the heart, right? The union of all of us. And everything else, let it fall into place. This is something I'm really bringing into practice right now, more and more. And I just felt to share with you guys. So thanks for listening. I'm Steph. This is Spirit-Led Steph. And we're just showing up here authentically, walking the journey, walking the spiritual journey, and allowing these lessons to be shared, right? Share down in the comments if you've had an issue with this idea of doing and non-doing, what it sparks in you. Because I think we can confuse it because we're so caught up on the physical level of things. But the real non-doing is internal. Doesn't matter what we're doing in the physical level. So those are my 2 cents, 444, as I say that. For you, for me, for all of us. Love you all.